All right, so welcome to another deep dive. And today we're going to kind of, dive deep into, well, artists, artists turning their passion into, well, profit, which is pretty cool. I think everyone listening has some kind of passion, right?
Right.
And I bet a lot of people, think about how cool it would be to,
Make a living.
make a living, exactly.
Yeah.
So we've got some excerpts here from an article called From Studio to Storefront.
Okay.
Artists Turning Passion into Profit. So pretty on the nose there.
Yeah. No, it sounds like it'll be a good read.
Yeah. And it's got some really interesting insights into like how the art world is, kind of is changing.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fascinating how it's evolving, right? Yeah. So how about you tell me, like, what's different for artists now? Like what's new?
Well, I mean, I think the internet and e-commerce have like totally reshaped the playing field,
Yeah.
It's not just about, just selling a painting anymore. It's about building a brand, like a whole,
Right.
your whole presence.
So like, okay, so you could be like, I'm thinking of like,
Like a specific type of art?
yeah, like a specific, or even a clothing designer.
Right.
Like someone who makes
Yeah, they're an artist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they can use these platforms like Etsy,
Uh-huh.
which have totally like changed the game.
Okay.
Artists can bypass those traditional like gatekeepers, galleries, all that.
Oh, yeah.
They can just go direct to a global audience.
So they can like run their own business essentially.
Exactly. It's like they're all entrepreneurs now.
So it's really not just about paintings in a gallery anymore.
No, not at all. I mean, this article, it talks about artists selling everything from jewelry to clothing to, like digital art, even like online workshops and
Like
stuff.
like courses and stuff.
Yeah, like teaching people, their skills.
Oh, that's cool. So it's really like blown up the definition of like quote unquote selling art.
It really has. It's pretty amazing to see.
Yeah. Okay. So with so many artists though, like
Yeah.
it's a crowded place online, right?
Yes, yeah. It's like, how do you stand out from the crowd?
Exactly. How do you cut through the noise?
Well, that's where, this whole community aspect comes in. You see that social media isn't just about posting pretty pictures.
Right.
It's about building like real connections with people.
Right.
Artists can use Instagram, TikTok, whatever, to tell their story, share their process, engage with people, like potential customers on a personal level,
So it's about like authenticity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like let people see who you are and build trust.
That makes a lot of sense.
And that can translate into sales.
Yeah, because you kind of feel like you know them, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you're more likely to buy from someone that you feel like you have a connection with.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we all kind of like that, right? We all want to support people we like.
Absolutely.
So it's fascinating how artists are using like the same tools as these like big companies, but in a much more like personal way.
Totally, yeah. It's like they're inviting you into their world, their creative space.
Yeah.
And in the article, it actually highlights a few artists who've done this really well.
Oh, cool.
Built these thriving online communities, turned followers into, fans and customers.
Okay, so like they're building their own like
their own little, empire.
Yeah, that's cool.
And some even use platforms like Patreon,
Yeah.
where they offer exclusive content to, their real supporters.
Yeah. Like a VIP club.
Exactly. It's a smart strategy.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's talk about the actual like selling part,
Oh, right, the nitty-gritty.
Yeah. Like are most artists are they doing it all through their own website or are they still using Etsy? Like what's the deal?
Well, it's kind of a mix, to be honest.
Okay.
The article goes into a bunch of different strategies. Some artists, they really like the control of having their own website.
Yeah.
They can build their brand exactly how they want it.
Yeah.
But others, they prefer the reach of these big platforms like Etsy or Society6.
Okay.
They already have a massive audience there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then there are some who use crowdfunding,
Right.
platforms like Kickstarter to launch new projects and, build some hype.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to see all the different approaches.
So it seems like there's no like right or wrong way, really.
There's no one size fits all.
Which is cool, but also kind of like
overwhelming.
yeah, a little bit. Like how do you choose you know?
Right, right. No, I get it.
Especially if you're an artist who maybe doesn't have a business background.
Right, exactly.
And the article that does talk about like some of the challenges.
Yeah, definitely.
Like time management and pricing your work.
Oh, pricing is a big one.
Yeah.
It's so hard to figure out like what's fair.
Yeah, and then like, you always have to be promoting yourself.
Yeah.
Which is kind of can be exhausting.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically running a small business, right?
Yeah, it is. And that requires a whole other skill set.
Exactly. Yeah.
On top of, being creative and making your art.
It's a lot.
Yes, yeah.
But the article does have some good news, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Some like success stories?
Absolutely. There are some really inspiring stories of artists who figured it out.
Oh, cool.
Like, for example, there was this one painter.
Okay.
She was really struggling to price her work. Like she was undervaluing herself,
Yeah.
But she found these online communities and they helped her like learn some pricing strategies.
Oh, wow.
And now she's got this thriving business.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool to see artists like supporting each other.
Yeah.
And sharing that knowledge.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So okay, like for our listener, who maybe is an artist themselves or just
interested in this whole thing.
Yeah. What are like the key takeaways?
I think the biggest one is that, the art world. It's not just about those fancy galleries and exhibitions anymore, the internet. It's opened things up. It's created these opportunities for artists to connect with people, build their own business on their own terms.
Okay, so it's about like taking control.
Exactly. Taking control, being an entrepreneur, honing your business skills.
Yeah.
Building a real connection with your audience.
So it's more than just being a great artist.
Right.
You got to be like business savvy too.
Absolutely. It's a whole package deal now.
Yeah. I mean, that's true for a lot of things these days, right?
It is, yeah. Like even with this podcast, we're entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah. We're not, we're not just talking into microphones. We're
building a brand.
Yeah, we're building something.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to think about like how this shift towards entrepreneurship is gonna affect the art world.
Yeah. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's tough to say. I'd be interesting to hear what our listeners think,
Yeah. What do you think? Like,
let us know. Hit us up on social media.
Yeah, let us know.
Tell us your thoughts.
Leave a comment, send us a
carrier pigeon.
Carrier pigeon. Yeah, exactly.
We'll find a way to get your thoughts.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, because it's an interesting question.
It is.
And there's no easy answer.
Definitely not. But it's
worth thinking about.
Yeah, it is. It is something to think about.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on another deep dive.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, this was cool.
It was good. It was good.
And we'll catch you next time.
See you then.
All right, take care.